next guest is a legend and the only Black woman to be an EGOT winner. She is a force of nature, entertaining any room she walks into. And she has a brand new holiday collection, and some of our audience members are already rocking it. And in the spirit, I can't wait to ask her all her thoughts and all her feelings on Christmas. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the one, the only Whoopi Goldberg.
We're literally in the grave.
Thank God.
I know.
Because what else would we do?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't want to do anything else.
I'm sorry. Hey, nice shirt.
Just so you know, I have known Whoopi since I was 8 years old.
Yes.
We met on the set of The Color Purple.
Yes, we did. Yes, we did. So funny.
I was visiting Steven Spielberg, and I came on set and hung out for a few days, and I got to meet you for the very first time. We've known each other our whole lives.
Yeah. Well, a lot of your life.
Yes, that's true.
Yeah. But you and my kid are the same age.
Alex.
So, yeah, she's, it's a family. It's a family affair.
It is a family.
Yeah.
I didn't know this story about Alice Walker sending Steven to see you somewhere.
I wrote to Alice Walker on my way to New York.
Who wrote The Color Purple.
Who wrote The Color Purple. So I wrote her a letter and said, listen, if they ever make a movie, I would like to play the dust on the floor. And I got to New York to do the first run of my one-person show, and there was a letter waiting for me in the projects that said, by the way, I've seen all of your shows. I already know who you are. I've sent your stuff to Stephen and Quincy. I was like, Stephen and Quincy? Stephen and Quincy who? Stephen and Quincy. And then my mother said, well, maybe it's Spielberg and Jones?
Right.
I was like, oh, okay. That would be cool, and then probably forgot about it.
And did he come?
No, I went to him. I went to Amblin.
Okay.
Yes. And he said, I wasn't able to get to New York, but I would love it if you could do your show here. I was like, okay. He said, I've invited some friends. I said, oh, okay. Audiences are good.
Gosh, who did he bring?
So I'm standing behind the curtain, and I'm looking, and I think, wait a minute. Is that Michael Jackson? Oh, my God, is that Ashford and Simpson?
Oh, my gosh!
Oh, this is really... Look at Quincy, Joe, look at Quincy! Oh, my God, okay. And then I stopped looking because I thought if I see one more thing, I'm going to pass out.
Yeah.
And then I did the show, and they all loved it, and then they said more. And I said, I'm not supposed to do any more. And Stephen said, well, why not? I said, well, because I did this thing called Blee Tea.
And Blee Tea is Black E.T.?
Yes. And the Elliot that he meets up with is living in the projects like I grew up in.
Uh-huh.
And he said, well, I want to see it now. I was like, well, they told me not to do it for you. They said I shouldn't do it. They said, don't do it. And all I could hear was everybody saying, don't do it for him. And he said, but I would like to see it. And I'm thinking, okay, what can I do? So I did it. And he laughed and fell on the floor. Because it really was about what happens when you assimilate, because that's what E.T. does. And so Blee Tea doesn't recognize his people when they come back for them. So he has decided he's running girls, and he's hanging with all kind of stuff.
And he couldn't phone home?
He couldn't phone home because nothing was working.
Right.
So that was one of the things. And it was all about him assimilating to the point where he didn't recognize his people when they came back for him. So that was kind of what I did.
So you took the risk.
I took the risk.
And it paid off. It also shows the power of writing a letter. If you hadn't written to Alice.
Yeah.
Now, when we did Boys on This, we made a film called Boys on the Side together back in the day.
Yeah.
Yes. It's
It still holds up. It's a sweet movie.
It's a beautiful movie, and we had the best time making it.
Yes.
The best. It just doesn't get better than you, me, Mary Louise Parker.
Mary Louise Parker.
Road tripping around the country.
Look at us. Oh, my gosh.
We were in several states and locations, directed by the incredible Herbert Ross, who's no longer with us, who was just an extraordinary filmmaker. There was a new actor he kept bragging to us about, saying, you have got to check this guy out. I found him. I've discovered him. He's been in like 1 or 2 movies. And it's Matthew McConaughey.
Yeah. Who knew?
And his illustrious career that has thus then followed. Although I'm not going to lie, I was really upset when I heard he wasn't going to run for governor of Texas, like, the other day.
Well, you know, I kind of like the idea that it might be a good idea to put government in the hands of a couple of folks who actually have a good idea of how it should go. And then, and then invite the newbies in and then mix them up so they get an idea of how it should be or how it could be or how it could be better, not worse. I don't want any more of this, you're an idiot and I'm not. I don't want it anymore. I don't want it.
That's kind of why I got excited about Matthew McConaughey, because I thought he's such a, peaceful dude.
Right.
And he kind of has so much goodwill that maybe he could just goodwill us into some sanity.
No, unfortunately, he actually has to have some policies. I know, it's 100%. Crazy, but he's got to find a way to make Texans feel like Texas is their state.
But he's so Texas, and he's a diplomatic person, and I thought maybe he could bring some common ground, because everything you just said is the problem, the no common ground, the we are different, but we can allow each other to live.
Yes, that would be nice. I miss that. I feel like I've gotten really old because I like the idea of, saying, well, I don't know if I agree with that. Let me think about it. What do you want to eat? That's remember we used to do that, and it wasn't like you weren't pointing fingers and screaming at people. I don't want to scream. I don't mind talking. I don't mind disagreeing. But when it becomes personal, it's just not cool. That's why I can't.
I agree.
I can't do it.
I agree.
I can't do it.
Which is why I wanted him to step in and say, all right, all right, all right.